So I'm going to start, if I can, and I want you to just join in with me and help me with this. And I want you to do something that perhaps in South Africa we've forgotten to be able to do, and that is to dream, to stop and to think, well, what do we really want? We know what we don't want, but what do we really want? Imagine for a moment that you could write your own future. You can decide for ourselves, here, what country do I want to live in? How would that country look? And in 10 years' time, what would be different about the Western Cape in 10 years' time to the Western Cape that I live in today? And I've got our list, but what are you guys hoping for? What is it that what country do we want to live in? What are the things that are important to us?
Peace, safety.
Safety, absolutely. Electricity, both on our list. Yeah. What else are we hoping for?
Enough work for us.
Work for people, absolutely on our list. Yeah, the education, economic development. We said we were the post office, and that may be beyond hope. Yeah. And one of the fascinating things, and I'll share our list, and you'll see we've got so many of the same things on there because as a people, we know what we want. We know the future we really want. And we sat as a team at the referendum party and we said, well, what sort of country do we want to live in? We said we want to live in a non-racial country where what we achieve is not defined by the colour of our skin. We wanted to live in a country that was safe and relatively crime-free. We wanted to live in a country where people had jobs and don't have to beg on the streets or live in poverty. We wanted to live in a country where things worked, the hospitals, the schools, the railways. We wanted electricity and clean drinking water. We want our sick and our elderly to be properly cared for. We want to get rid of the squatter camps and informal settlements that are spreading everywhere around us. We want people to be able to live in decent houses. And we want our money to actually be worth something on the international stage. And that's the future that I think we want. And I think that's the future that all of us want. It's a future that we would all be delighted to live in. But it's really not too good to be true. That is the future that many people around the world already have. We can have that future. It doesn't have to be something that would be beyond reach. That isn't too much to ask. That is how good countries are supposed to be run. But if we want that future, we're going to have to vote for it. And that's the reality. We're going to have to find a way of standing together and voting for it. And at the referendum party, we've given that future a name. And we've said that we want to live in a first world country at Africa's southern tip. And that's our dream, to create a first world country at Africa's southern tip. And we're saying that in 2024, you're going to be voting for one of two things. You're either going to be voting for a first world country, or whether you like it or not, you're going to be voting for an African failed state, because that's the other future that we're going to end up if we're not careful with.